We will be back. As the Terminator once said, I'll be back. It's not mathematically confirmed, but it might as well be, because it finished at Vicarage Road, Watford FC 0, Leeds United 3. Well, that was a shambles, just like every other home game this season. Let me talk you through the lineup before anything else. For this crucial relegation six-pointer, we had an unchanged side from the team that lost to Liverpool. Foster in goal. Thought he had a very difficult game. Got beaten for the second goal. Rodrigo went round him. Maybe should have done better with the first one. Although it's a great strike from Rafinha, he shouldn't be getting beaten his near post. Nothing he could have done about the third goal. Louza, he can hold his head high. He is one of the few players who looks like he actually wants to do something positive, and he controls that midfield, and he's just an absolute legend. He had that chance from the free kick, so unlucky. He bends it over the wall, it's looking brilliant, and then it just goes past that right-hand post. Joao Pedro was probably our best of the front three today, but he was still very frustrating. With Pedro, he is just all about running and not about the end product, but he gives his effort, that's for sure. It's just that the quality is not there. But he was better than Dennis today, and better than Sarr, and much, much better than Joshua King when he came on. Kamara, for some reason, was in the Watford post, said Kamara, and honestly, I don't know how this guy is not our captain. It said on it, not the captain. The captain was Sissoko. Now, Musa, you are a legend. But Kamara, you are a double legend. Again, honestly, this season, I just wish we'd done things sooner. Brought in Kamara in summer rather than in January. Brought in Hodgson. Okay, he's not done great, but brought in Hodgson in the summer, rather not the summer, in October instead of Ranieri, because then we might actually have a bit more of a gauge of getting out of this. And brought in Imran Louza earlier. So Kamara, I thought, was very, very full of mistakes today, but in terms of the effort he gives, you cannot deny him that. The goal for the second one was an absolute nightmare at the back. Hassan Kamara and Samir just not defending as they should. Just clear your lines. If in doubt, kick it out. And why Kamara is playing that pass back there where you got a Leeds team that are pressing you, honestly, I do not know. And then, yeah, it's not the right decision to play it there, but he puts himself into a sticky situation. He puts Kamara into a sticky situation. Kamara does to Samir, and then Samir, I mean, that was a poor touch, like really, really poor, but they shouldn't even be playing around in the first place, so really, really silly. And although I really think Kamara's been fantastic since he's come in, today wasn't one of his best days, but he gives a bit of passion for the shirt, as does Moussa Sissoko, who I thought, as well as Imran Louza today, was one of our few players that played well. Imran Louza is so good at pulling the strings and spraying the passes. What Sissoko is good at is driving forward, and there was so little of that from any Watford player today, but Sissoko at least really was controlled and measured and wanted to get stuck into some tackles. Now, the effort there wasn't brilliant today. There was a little bit of it, but it was made up in bad for the lack of quality, because whenever we win back the ball, the amount of misplaced passes, under-hit passes today was abysmal. So every time we'd win the ball back, we'd give it back to Leeds. It's like, well, what's the point of even trying, because you're that bad? So Sissoko, very solid game today. And I've got to give you a little information. And it is, of course, that we got the honour of a little snap with Musa. If you can actually focus the phone, of course we can't. Nothing is new here, people. Nothing is new. You can see that, can't you? Yeah, there it is. My captain, Louza. What an absolute legend. Cheers, mate, for the photo. So yeah, the football itself was painful today. And I think our fate is sealed. If it wasn't already, it definitely is now. People say, oh, well, you know, still relegation fight, 7 games to go. No, okay? This game was a must win. And I've said about the word must win about 7 times this season. But I actually mean it this week. Like, there was no room for error. With our remaining 8 games of the season, we knew after that result at Anfield, it was like, as soon as that Leeds game kicks off, it is the final run-in. It's the final points. Every point counts. Every shot, every save, every point. And we knew for us to have any chance, even a fighting chance, we had to get maximum points at home. Now, that was a big ask, of course, because our home form has been dreadful all season, so that doesn't change overnight. But you can lose to Leeds, or you can draw, or you can win, because this Leeds team were the worst away side in terms of conceding goals. However, we were the worst home team in terms of any kind of form. So those kind of things weigh up, and it turns out we're trash, which we kind of already knew, but it just is further emphasised today when we thought we were going in the right direction after the last 2 games. Southampton, Liverpool, a bit more positive. Today, it's like we've taken 1 step forward and 3 or 4 steps back. And that, my friends, is why we're going to be in the Championship next season. So, really, really awful. But the game, at least I was at a football match. You know, that's at least something. And the experience, I was actually watching the game from the press box at Watford. So I was writing a match report for Watford, not to publish it for the Watford website, but I was basically, you know, in the press box with all the journalists and doing my own match report, and it's going to have a look at and you know, feedback on by the Watford staff and the media team. So that's really, really great. That's the second time I've done that. I did it back in October as well. It's just really, really beneficial. I'm going to uni in September, and my sports journalism course is really going to benefit from that. And talking sports journalism, there was a bit at the end of the game where Roy Hodgson had his pitch side interview, which we're going to play in a second. And I actually just had this general conversation with him about sports journalism. And we were like, yeah, you know, sports journalism is a great career to go into and pursue because you can travel the world. And he said, Hodgson, that if he didn't take up managing, it would be his next choice, that it brings you closer to the action and it's a great way to really, you know, get involved in the football industry. So, look, I've had just a general conversation with Roy Hodgson. I've talked about my sports journalism love with him. I mean, what more could you want, right? We have lost and we're going down, but we've had a good day out. That's all I can say. And that's as bad as it's got for Watford. We're not really focusing on the football. We're focusing on being in the stadium. But even then, it's really limited. It's based on, we have a Watford FC family, a community of fans, and that is the positive right now, not the team itself. So, you know, it's kind of like the players are not doing it, so it's just left to the fans to enjoy their own company rather than the actual point of why the fans are going. So, yeah, it is. It's difficult, but it wasn't all lost today. You know, it wasn't as bad as Norwich, which was awful, right, under Ranieri. It was still pretty bad. Seeing the importance and the magnitude of this game, we knew that if we'd have beaten Leeds today, we'd have dragged them just back in the fight. But they were pretty much already safe. They've definitely confirmed safety now, Leeds. So, real kick in the teeth. And not just that, Everton beating Manchester United. Before we even kicked a ball, we'd already been behind in the relegation battle. And Manchester United, you absolute piece of, I don't even know what to call you, just absolute rubbish. You cannot rely on Manchester United to get you a result. Okay? Just no. They are bin. So get Eric Ten Hag in next season and actually do something useful with your club. You got loads of money in that club and you're not doing anything with it. You got some great players individually, Ronaldo, Bruno, but you haven't got a team working together. So what's the point of spending all this money if you're not going to have a fully functioning team? You can rely on amazing players to save you for moments, but when you've not got a good defence, when you've not got a good defensive midfielder, there's just no point. So, yeah, fuming about that. Anthony Gordon with the goal, just like, why? And it took a deflection as well off the backside of Maguire. That's just our luck, isn't it? Off the backside. Our season this season has been a backside. It's been utterly trash. So, to sum up, it was really, really poor. I was going to read through the actual report I did from that Leeds game, but I'm thinking that's too analytical. This is a kind of more emotion-based reaction. But yeah, Leeds United win at Vicarage Road. Watford 0, Leeds 3. Goals from Rafinha, Rodrigo, and Jack Harrison scores a third goal in succession for the first time in his career for Leeds in the Premier League. And also, the first time Watford have lost 9 consecutive home games in a row since 1971-72 season. Wow. I mean, we're matching Wolves from the 2011 to 2012 or around that era where they lost 9 in a row. But honestly, I think if we stay up from this, we don't deserve it. We really don't. It would be daylight robbery, and we've just got to be at peace with it. It's disgusting. It's horrible. I want to care about this season, but I really don't have the capacity to when we have thrown it away time and time and time again. Ismaila Sarr today, really poor. Just weak. And I don't even know if we're going to get profit on the transfer when he sells off to another club. Dennis, pretty poor. He just does too much. He tries to take on every player and doesn't make the simple pass. You had Joao Pedro in acres of space, and yet you pass into the middle where there's no Watford player. Sick one, Dennis. Well done, mate. Honestly, like, there's just no hope at the minute. And Roy Hodgson, let's just quickly play you that match review. I mean, oh, goodness me. I mean, we were unchanged, fair enough. We played quite well against Liverpool, but it doesn't matter because we honestly look like a bunch of incapables at home. We simply cannot pass the ball, even. That basic. We can't even do that. And Roy Hodgson says, it's not over till it's over. You mustn't allow yourself for 1 minute to wallow in some sort of self-pity. You've got to keep believing and keep going. But my friend, Roy, as much as you are positive and as much as you are a positive outlook, like, come on. You should see incompetence when it's there. And this is what Roy had to say, and this is how I'm going to finish off the match. Man of the match, honestly, I shouldn't really be giving one of the man of the matches because they were so poor, all of them. But if I had to pick one, then I'll go Imran Louza. I thought he had a very solid game. Unlucky with that free kick. Nearly could have ended our wait of 4 years in 2016, or 5 years, I should say, or 6 years. Goodness me, time's going fast. Since we scored a Premier League goal from a free kick against Aston Villa back in April of 2016. So, Roy Hodgson, to might drop it out. We're going down. That was a shambles. What more can I say? Let's go.
Your thoughts on the game today, please? I thought the scoreline was very harsh. I don't think we deserved to lose the game by 3-0. In fact,
Okay.
I'm even tempted to say that we didn't really deserve to lose the game at all. I think,
Okay, it was harsh, yeah, but we did deserve to lose the game. Let's not beat around the bush. We had, 2 shots on target, didn't we? So, come on. A little bit of perspective. I could play it all. You can find it on the Twitter or the Instagram.